We're going to be talking about all sorts of superhero TV shows and movie news, but let's kick it off with some news. We're going to talk about, we're going to do a spoiler-free review of Avengers Infinity War, and we're also going to give a little shout-out to the Venom trailer, because previously, speaking about it, I think we're divided, meaning classic Sam v. DJ and Roxy. We'll see who comes out victorious in this.
The classic Sam v. DJ and Roxy situation.
Remember, it was 1986. It was a very interesting court ruling. We'll go ahead and get into that later.
Good year.
But also, guys, just so you know, Monday, the main episode will also be Avengers Infinity War spoiler-free and spoiler-filled review with none other than Greg Miller from Kind of Funny Games. You know, Game Over Greggy. And it was a very good episode we recorded this morning. Couldn't do a live stream for it because we had to kind of Skype him in, but we used this other program that was like super high-tech, and it worked out great. Yeah. It sounds amazing.
Do you like him better than me?
But he
answer the question.
He screamed more than you.
Oh man,
I don't know if that's a positive. He was just slightly louder than you.
I'm so
sometimes.
nervous now. I'm so anxious. I gotta do good.
The pressure's on.
The pressure is mounting. So, I was going to do an intro for the segment that we put on the YouTube, but I didn't know how to intro it.
Here, I got you.
Okay.
All right, so we've all seen Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
We all have mixed... not mixed, sorry, excuse me. I didn't want to already get an opinion out there.
Yeah.
We all have our
start
feelings.
again. Do it from the top.
No, okay. I got this, Coach. Avengers Infinity War came out. We all have our opinions on it.
Yes.
Now, there's the internet has their thoughts and feelings on it, but you know what? We're going to be civil about this. We're not going to be a goddamn Twitter. Goddamn dumpster fire that is Twitter.
But also follow us on Twitter because we do like
at
it
Sam
there.
Basher, at DJ Talkstars, at Roxy Stryer. Just putting that out there.
Yep.
Appreciate the follow. But also, let's get some spoiler-free thoughts out. Because we don't want to spoil it for people yet. We want people who haven't seen the movie yet to enjoy this video.
Yes.
Also, if you are one of those people who does spoil it for people, you're the worst trash of the earth.
You're the main smoldering bit of the trash fire that is Twitter. If you're Googling, you find out a spoiler-free review. Here's our thoughts. I'll kick it off real quick. Okay. I thought it was a wonderful movie. It was fantastic. It had some of the most epic shots I've actually seen in any of these movies, and the movie does a very good job at building and building and building. And when it gets to your war, where at a point in this movie it's a war, it's battle almost seems too small based on the stakes that we're playing around with, and it has I think it's tough call between Killmonger and Thanos, but I think Thanos is the best villain they've ever had, and I'm glad that they took the time to really build him up and explain what his motives were. But even more than that, you found out the stakes he's willing to go, or the things he's willing to do to get what he believes is right, and not about winning. It's about getting what he thinks is right for all. But he's a crazy person, so that doesn't mean it's actually good. And if you're a fan of Thor, Gamora, or who you said Scarlet Witch, you're gonna be a big fan of this movie. They're kick-ass. Roxy?
I loved this movie. I thought it was great. I was more surprised than DJ was. I loved it so much I shook the earth, apparently. And I there were moments where I was really surprised. Something I was surprised about, and I guess I shouldn't be at this point with Marvel, is that I laughed out loud a lot.
Me
there
too.
were some really, really funny moments in this that played out exactly how I wanted them to. And it made me giggle, and I like that. And it made me feel, and I like that. And I think that they did a very good job with probably 25 characters
or
that
more.
They had to seriously have screen time. And
it feels weird that 25 feels like a low number for this movie.
Yes, but I feel like they really gave the time that each character needed on screen. They were lucky in a sense, and lucky is not even the right word here because they created that luck, but they had explored the backstories so much that they didn't need to do that in this movie. I was trying to picture if I had gone to see this movie blind and never seen any of the other Marvel movies, I would have had no idea what was happening. Legitimately none. But as a fan, to me, it was very close to perfect.
And I think the movie, it starts, there's real suspense in it, which is, these movies never really have that. You get a lot with one of the New York scene. With the characters kind of realizing what the threat is in that moment. I think that's pretty. I can keep that pretty spoiler free.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tension that they build there, and especially just the intro, the first shot you get of the movie. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You're just it's not like, oh shit, Caecilius, if anyone remembers that character's name from Doctor Strange. It's like, oh, he's doing magic. It's like, no, in this you're like, shit's bad.
Yeah.
Shit's really, really bad.
Yeah, they did a really good job of not only making Thanos, making Thanos a credible villain, but also a credible character. That is interesting to invest in. I still prefer Killmonger as a villain, if I'm going to be honest.
That's fair.
I will say my experience watching this movie, I described it as if you were watching 5 different season finales to 5 different shows, and every time there was a commercial break, it flipped to a different show. So it was a little hard to keep track of everything. Oh, but I did really enjoy it, about 4 of the 5 shows. So for the majority of it, it was enjoyable. It is a lot. And it helps. I think it's important going in. The way they've advertised this movie, the way people talk about this movie is if this is the culmination, this is the finale of 10 years, and it's not. It's a middle chapter for the finale that is going to come a year from now. And as a middle chapter, as like a penultimate episode, is like if you were talking about Game of Thrones, as like the 9th episode of the 10. I'm interested to see the last episode, and that might change the way I perceive this episode.
I think it's fair to say this movie you can enjoy it with one viewing, but I'm going to knock this damn thing over. But
I want you to.
But 2 viewings, I feel like, is what you kind of need for this movie to really unpack all the references. Like we mentioned this in our review this morning, but there is a Easter egg in the collector's collection.
No, you're getting too close.
It's described in the credits of the movie, and everyone's like, "What? No. What does that mean?" And like then later, you have to like keep a very close eye out, and it's very good. It's very good. So but also not just that. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of still really heavy emotional beats that are hit in this movie, which is impressive. For like in Avengers, the first one, the most you get is Coulson dying, and you're like.
Spoilers for Avengers.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
No,
Major
how could I do that? Well, Roxy, what else do you think? What else are your thoughts? What else do you think?
Well, speaking of relationships, I was really glad to actually be able to go into a little bit of character relationship development, because usually in a massive movie like this, that is what gets left behind. But we did get to check in on some of our relationships, which I thought was really cool and interesting. And knowing where we left off previously and where people are now, I was pleasantly surprised with some of the places we picked up.
And there's you guys should definitely tune in Monday to our main podcast episode, onlystupidanswers.com, where you can find that and listen to it on every goddamn platform you could possibly think of. We dive into a lot of really cool references that are hidden throughout the movie, and also where it can go from here, because boy oh boy, the 4th movie is probably going to be real sad. Guys, let's give a quick rating.
Give me your weird scale, Sam.
We didn't do a weird scale in the episode.
I was embarrassed because the new guest was there. I didn't want to embarrass.
What do you want to do? Maybe 6? Is that too low?
There's 22 characters in this movie.
Okay.
Did you know that for sure?
Yeah, obviously he said it with such confidence too.
22.
Okay.
There's 22 or 27.
Right.
It's over 20. Out of 22, even number, easy. Even number.
Out of 22.
22 out of 100, easy. It's the score that you are.
22 out of 100?
No, sorry, I was saying I literally said a garbage thought out loud. Don't listen to me. That was a throwaway
garbage thoughts with Sam Basher. Copyright.
My thoughts just need to keep going just to fill up the empty void, and that was one of them.
That's your job. You're good at it, though.
We're using 22
Thanks.
hammers.
22 out of 22 hammers. What would you give it?
I think I give it 19 out of 22 hammers.
That's high. That's high.
Yeah.
That's high. What would you now that we're doing the fun score, what would you give it, Sam?
19 or 20 hammers out of 22 hammers.
So you just copied me.
Just saying. I did give it a little higher. Just saying.
No.
No, I would give it what?
No.
15 out of 22 hammers? What?
15?
15 out of 22
I think
hammers.
For the letter grade you gave in the episode, I think it's like 15 or 16.
Yeah, 15 or 16
I think it was like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
for
one of those.
Part is enjoyable. However, it did remind me a lot of a 3-hour-long video game cutscene. And that's not just because a majority of it is fine to pretty good CG, but also because most of it is, hey, we need to go do the thing to stop the guy. And then they do the thing. It's like, cool, we did that thing. Now your mission is you need to go over here to stop the guy. Cool, we did that thing. So if you're, that's...
Ugh, DJ.
So, yeah.
Sam, if you were asked this, DJ, I already know your answer. Would this be in your top 5 MCU movies?
Yes, easily.
Top 3?
I'd have to think about that one.
Okay.
I'd need more time to think about that one because the MCU's got a lot of good gems in there. So.
I also would like to say, again, once the series wraps up, my opinion might change. I might enjoy this middle chapter more.
You just don't want to get that Twitter hate.
Too late.
Too late.
Too late. That ship has already sailed on that one.
They're coming for you.
I'm going to be interested because the overall reception on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff has not been as universally glowing as it has been in the past.
For critics, but fans are it's 94% still on for fans.
But it'll be interesting to see. I think, but once more people see it, I'll be interested to see how reactions go, just because of the way the internet works.
It's so crazy when you don't know. Like, I remember seeing Last Jedi and just thinking that everybody was going to think that was the best movie of all time.
I really enjoyed it.
I loved that movie, and then looking at Rotten Tomatoes, being like, I guess some people didn't.
A few, that's just a handful.
Yeah.